Thank you. We'll go ahead. Oh, Rodolfo, I'm not able to share screen.
Board. And I spoke about the difference of we were talking about the value of grades. And his colleague said something really interesting. He gets to a point where he makes them do, like I do as well, but these kind of a presentations, and actually the class has to evaluate this, which was really, really interesting. But then it came to something else, which I encountered, which is completely different from the European educational system. When I got here, I had to do these, I don't know how many, 35, 70 pages of compliance quizzes. Is that okay? I mean, this sounds like a really crazy question, but may I ask a student to actually judge another student in terms of compliances? Because it really is complex. I think it should be, but again, I'm always worried because also the arts, we are dealing with many times movies, films, which sometimes can be very strong. So I have to continuously give trigger warnings, send blackboard messages, tell them even before I'm about to show a viewing of something. At one point I started eliminating things, but I was eliminating things that in the history of photography are fundamental. And I can't because, but at the same time, according to new life here in the world, that I have to give, very strong warning of what they may end up being seen, because so it's very, very difficult in the amount of work we have to do, even reviewing and viewing things that we've maybe seen 5 years ago to make sure there's nothing. But can I ask students to evaluate themselves?
I think self-evaluation is it's quite common. Students do self-evaluate. I mean, depends how you frame it, how you ask questions. In that sense, I know in some courses, students evaluate each other, especially if they're doing collaborative groups. The faculty member may provide guiding questions, and the students, may evaluate each other based on, whatever criteria for success the faculty member is seeing, or that it's mutually agreed upon between faculty and student. We do have our student partners here at the CTE space. And if anyone would like to comment on that self-evaluation, has anybody either self-evaluated in the course, and did that play a role in your grade? Or have you ever evaluated your peers, and how did you feel about that?
I can.
Well, we have our student partner, Alonso, if you don't mind. Yes, first, and then we can go to you, if you don't mind.
Okay, as a student, I think, is there any background noise?
I'm not sure why. I can mute myself. This is good for us to try this out. I don't know what happened, Adolfo.
Can you hear us? Testing one,
Yes,
two,
we
three.
can hear you. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I was gonna say, as a student, I think when Professor Loreto mentioned students judging other students, I think maybe reframing the word judge, because we're students and we're all learning together. So maybe not judging, but providing feedback and evaluating. I think evaluating is the right word, because judging is like a strong word for us as students, because it's hard for us to judge another student. Maybe it's not right to say you're doing this wrong as a student, but maybe just share like our point of view. I think that's a better way to reframe this. So I also think like the way questions are structured is important, right? To make students reflect how we want them to reflect. So I think that's what I would say. Like, maybe not, as students, not judge other students, but evaluate and provide feedback to grow together, because we are all students and we're all learning. Like, we might be at the same level, so we want to grow together as a student, as a group, as a class.
Thank you for sharing that, Alonso. I think that's, very much in a growth mindset perspective and helping each other out, right, as peers. And Lily Puente, if you would like to come on, thank you so much for your patience.
You're welcome. No, I was gonna say I have done in the past self-evaluations at clinic with students because I want them to have an idea of where they feel their skills are at and discuss it moving forward to get them either agreeing where their skills are at or getting them to work towards getting better skills. But I don't do it as a grade. Like the evaluation, I consider it more as
Mm,
a discussion of where are you at? Where do you think you're at?
mhm,
Let me tell you where I feel you're at. And let's work to get better at
mhm.
your skills all the way around, but not for a grade. It's just for feedback. That way we can have an open discussion about skills and where they're at and where they need to be.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, I like that. Yes, that it doesn't necessarily impact their grade in the course. Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? Any other questions? I know we're at time, but I could take one more question if anyone has something to share. Okay, well, everyone, thank you all so much for making time and joining us. We'll send you a survey if you don't mind taking it. That's very important. We do get a low response rate on those surveys. So please, those are very important for us so we can assess our own, the impact of our own sessions and what works, what doesn't, and how you are reflecting on them as well. We care very much about that and growth. And I'm here for anything that you all may need. We thank you for your time and everything that you do, and happy writing with your annual reviews in the next couple of weeks. Any questions, feel free to send me an email or a chat message on Teams. I'm happy to respond. You all take care. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you. Let me make sure we save the chat, Adolfo, before we disconnect.